Hello, friends. I'm Leah Fireheart. This is the Fire Kitchen. We're a hot mess today. It's fine. Hello and welcome. We have raiders. We have resubscriptions. We have no plant. Oh, I watered the plant and it's still in the sink. You guys, I don't even know what to tell you. Hi. I hang on. Let me do things and be a perfectly hospitable host despite my disorganization. Hello, Des. Hello, Brigitte. Hello, Jane. Let's see. Brigitte, thank you so much for the resubscription. Vintage, hello. Thank you so much for the raid. Basil, hi. Whimsy, hi. Alpine, hi. Thank you for the resubscription. You're lovely. Basil says, oh, look, it's Leah Fireheart. She's charming and cooks tasty food. Fuck you. Whimsy. Lassie, hello. Hi. Abby, hi. How are you guys? It's so good to see you. Who else have I got? Okay. Do you have any ID? I do, but I'm not going to show my ID on stream. Oh, wait, and my ID doesn't say I'm Leah Fireheart anyway. That's obviously not my real name. Although it'd be really cool if it were, like my government name. I guess it is a real name. It's a real name of sorts. Basil says, wow, I was being nice and I get fuck you. I mean, yes, because that's what it says when Dr. So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, in various places on the internet at this point, it has become a bit of a meme for people to say I'm charming and cook tasty looking food because I said it myself in jest one time and everyone loaded into their channel as a sound. And the one at CFJ now in Dr. Andy and Super Liz's channel now just says, hi, I'm Leah Fireheart. Oh, wait. Oh, no, you should follow Leah Fireheart. She's charming. Fuck you. That's what it says right now. I don't know if that's going to stay. I don't know if it's like that right at this moment. But on Tuesday, that's what it said. You guys. It's so funny. Yeah, in a good way. Exactly. It's and over there that's a form of affection. You just have to trust me on this. I I promise it's affectionate. I promise. So right. First of all, I have to put the plant back up here because this is wigging me out. It's like such a weird it's just like a weirdly blank space up there. And it's like it's throwing off my entire perception of the universe. So I'm just gonna plop that up there. You can see it's getting a little yellow because I hadn't watered it in a while, but there we go. So now the plant is there and I feel much better. So Wednesdays is so pumpkin chili time. I guess I'm not sure what to do, actually. I'm not entirely sure that we're going to be doing what I planned on doing. I'm not sure what we're going to be doing. We'll figure it out. Wait, what? Woozbot? Right. Okay. First of all, I know that we gave a shout out to Vintage because I saw it pop up, but could we just give a quick shout out to Vintage RPG, who is considering eating cheese and bacon balls and continuing to study, which you may definitely do if that is your jam. You should do that if you're into that. However, for those of you who don't know Vintage RPG, Vintage is a terrific variety streamer. Currently playing Baldur's Gate 3 apparently today. I was busy this morning doing stuff, obviously, so I didn't even pop in there this morning. I'm sorry to say that, Vintage, because usually I'm at least lurking in there, but I'm sure that was fun and entertaining for everyone. Vintage also plays quite a bit of Dragon Age and Mass Effect and other BioWare games that people like. But you never really know what you're going to find over there. Vintage might be making balloon animals. She might be putting together a Lego set. She might be making hamburger flavored gummy candy out of paste. So honestly, I think if you're not following her, you're just missing out, and you should fix that right away. This is very accurate. It's very accurate. Vintage, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. I hope your stream went well. And I appreciate your bringing your folks over here. If you do have to lurk, if any of you who happen to be in or adjacent to Vintage's time zone have to lurk because it is getting late there, I totally understand. I appreciate it very much that you guys came to hang out with me, and I'm sure I will see you again sometime very soon, perhaps Sunday when Vintage is next live, bright and early in the morning, typically my time. Um, it's 1:15 a.m. That's a whole a.m. Whimsy, I sound like Faye. um, that's a sure a time. That's definitely a time. Right. So I don't know what our main is either. I'm not really entirely sure how today's going to play out at this point. We might just make sweet potato chili with butternut squash. I don't know. But regardless, we definitely need to pick a side. This is not the poll that I thought it was going to be. I thought Brigitte was gently nudging me in the direction of, you have food to cook, right? But she's not. Pick a side is Cinema Fries, Queen's Park Rangers, a Iago soliloquy, Pink Floyd tune, or Droff. I don't know. I don't know. I rarely know, if I'm honest. I rarely know. So wait, hold on. Did someone, hold on. I missed something. Did I miss something? I clearly missed something. Hold on a second. What am I doing here? Mm. Mm, mm. Ah, right. Oh, Say My Jane was in fact first today. That is what I missed. So, Jane, congratulations on arriving first. So by Iago soliloquy, which Iago? Shakespeare or Gilbert Gottfried? I think you could choose either and vote based on your own selection. Probably. I suspect Brigitte meant why not both. I assume this is Brigitte. I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong about that. I always try to sometimes I try to guess which mod is doing the thing. And Castle Soul, hi! Welcome to here. It's good to see you. Castle Soul has redeemed Treat Leah, which is actually kind of fun because Leah has a plan for a treat today. And as it turns out, that's the only thing that might go according to plan today, perhaps. I'm going to go ahead and make some hot chocolate. So we could definitely do that. So thank you. Thank you for that, because it's all of a sudden cold here. Like Grog woke me up and he was like, "Do you know what the temperature is right now?" And I was like, "No." And he was like, and I don't remember what ridiculously low temperature he told me, but it was really cold. I think he might have said it was 30 something, which is like 0 something in rest of the world degrees. That's terrible. That's winter temperatures. It's apparently that we skipped fall, apparently, today. We skipped fall. We went straight from, it was 80 degrees last Saturday when I was packing the car, to now it's 30. So we went from like 30 degrees in Celsius temperatures to 0 degrees. Abby says it's all of a sudden cold here. It snowed all day where Abby is. I don't want snow, ever. But particularly not until after my last outdoor market of the year, which is next weekend. Not this weekend, not Saturday, but the following weekend. 30s this summer, guys. Yes. Just why I'm giving temperatures in both American fuck degrees, as Dr. Andy calls them, and rest of the world temperatures. Basil says hot chocolate. I've gotten into the habit of having a mug of hot chocolate most evenings in the last week or two, and it's been really nice. I do have some like powdered mix hot chocolate, but that's not what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do like fancy hot chocolate today. Wait, what did Brigitte say? I've been in the 30s for a few years now. I've been out of the 30s for a few years now. Although the number is moving in the right direction. Um, Vintage says our forecast is literally getting 2 degrees warmer every day for the whole week. And it's gonna get 2 degrees warmer, I would imagine, every day for the next couple of months. You guys get really freaking hot temperatures. 23, 25, 27, 31, 33. You start to get up into 33 and that starts to look really hot to me, at least in your temperatures. 290 Blue says, I will take some snow. I don't want snow. You guys have just a few more seconds to pick a side, by the way. Like a slow climb into summer. Yes. Abby says it was a freak storm. It's not supposed to snow again for a while, but who the fuck knows at this point? Yes, this is the El Nino, I guess, that Abby was talking about in Dez's chat yesterday. So Cinema Fries has carried the day in today's pick a side poll. I really hope there's going to be another pick a side poll here coming up because that'll tell me what I'm doing for the rest of my day. Yes, climate change. Woohoo. Hi, Pro Ninja. It's good to see you. Welcome in. Is it snowing where you are too? I don't know. I know. Okay, so I know where Pro Ninja lives, and there was a time about 2-ish plus decades ago when I thought I might move to the place where Pro Ninja is sort of generally. There is snow here, and that winter, the winter that I thought I might move there, it snowed so much that there was no place left to put the snow. Like you have to clear the streets and clear the sidewalks and stuff so that people can like get around, because if the snow is up to your house, you can't go anywhere. And so like the snow removal, they had to remove so much snow that they had to start dumping it in the harbor because there was nowhere to put it because there was so much snow. Can you imagine that much snow? I'm from California. I can't imagine that much snow, and thus I didn't move there. Abby says climate change is not real. It's made up by Big Pumpkin Spice.
You're hot, Cupcake.
Is Big Pumpkin Spice the 6th Spice Girl? Was there 4 Spice Girls or 5? Wasn't there 5 Spice Girls? That must be the 6th Spice Girl. Basil's yerk for let another online training go. Oh, this is caps lock. I thought that was entirely intentional caps lock, honestly. Vintage says low to mid 30s is nice for summer. 39 plus is too hot. Okay, all right, fair. I hope your online training is not terrible, Basil. Pro Ninja says we got a ton of snow. Some places it's literally over houses. Yes. Also, hi, Shark Alice. It's good to see you. Thank you for that. Whimsy says the harbor sounds like where they should always have been dumping it. It's water. Yeah, but snow is not really like like town snow is not the best thing to put in a harbor. Like they didn't have a choice. They really didn't have a choice. But like it's got, it's going to have like chemicals and stuff, and it's going to have like road salt and de-icer and like like gravel and, other things that you don't want in the harbor that you're eventually going to have to dredge out of the harbor. It's not ideal, is what I'm saying. It's not ideal. But when you don't have a choice, you don't have a choice. You can't turn my lights pink in here. Well, could we turn my lights pink in here? We could turn one light pink in here.
And you'll never go hungry again.
Corey, shark. Pies, if it was Big Pumpkin Spice, we wouldn't have just skipped the fall. That's true. We skipped fall for the most part. Lassie says, a few years ago we had 6 feet of snow in 2 days. That's a lot of snow. Pro Ninja says I made a proper shepherd's pie last night. First time doing that. Congratulations. How did it turn out? I love shepherd's pie. I think it's delicious. Alice wants to know if Whimsy took their meds. Abby says maybe, but eventually the entirety of winter will all be fall. It's a long game plan. I see. Whimsy says they're already dumping that stuff in the harbor, so it's just mask off. I suppose that's probably true. Corey, thank you for the resubscription. I appreciate that. Beep boop, it's time. Oh no, Whimsy didn't take her meds. I repent. Yes, repent. Nothing to compare it to, but it was good.
And you'll never go hungry again.
Alice, thank you for gifting that sub to Whimsy. That's very sweet of you. Whimsy, enjoy your emotes, which have now reverted to their OG form. I'm sure some of you are sad, but they have returned to their original pink and green status. The Gothly emotes have been put away for, I don't know, an indeterminate amount of time until I decide the next time that I should, I don't know, make you guys work for them or something. Yes, lamb is very good. Although some people, when they say shepherd's pie, they don't necessarily mean lamb. Sometimes like we conflate shepherd's pie and cottage pie, and honestly, it's just pedantic to like insist on a difference, as far as I'm concerned. Right. Okay, so now we have to figure out what to do about this butternut squash problem. So I said I was gonna make sweet potato chili today. And I failed at that because I didn't apparently buy. I thought I had bought sweet potatoes, or I thought I'd put sweet potatoes on the grocery list, but I made the grocery list like last Monday, and Grog did the grocery shopping on Friday, I think, when he got off a little early. And so like this is, like this is old. I mean, old, like a week old. And for some reason I had put butternut squash on there and not sweet potatoes, and now I don't have any sweet potatoes, so this is going to be a little bit complicated. Corey says I'm a known pet aunt, so I always mean lamb. Bronan says I use beef and some bacon for mine. Not even sure you can get lamb here. That's possibly true. And also lamb is very expensive. Typically. Jane says, okay, I technically had cottage pie last night, but most people in my 3D life don't know the difference. Yes, I 3D life. I like that. I'm 2D. I'm only 2D. Yeah, I'm a flat surface. Whimsy says also drover's pie. It's what we call it when we make it with kangaroo. I didn't know you could eat kangaroo. 290 Blue says it's hard to get real shepherds for pies these days. Lassie says I normally get 4 to 7 areas at P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way. Brigitte wants cottage pie and peas. I don't think I can help you with the peas. Poulter's pie is chicken. Alpine says cottages are slightly easier to find, especially these days. Everybody's all cottagecore. RPG says you have to buy them canned. A lot of drovers in Australia, though, just have to strain out the hat corks. Oh my god. Oh, and Corey did not have drover's pie on their list. Jane says they don't like to say real life because you're definitely real too. You're just 2D for me. Yeah, and I typically default to real life, but it's not the first time I've been called out on it because this is obviously real life. We care for each other, support each other, love each other, spend ridiculous amounts of time together. We are 100% a major fixture in each other's lives. So yeah, this is definitely real life. I also couldn't find my little hair clips today, and so I'm dealing with the same hair problem that I was on Tuesday, and I'm very annoyed. Whimsy says we have more sheeps than people. Brigitte says kangaroo's not bad minced. Brigitte, you've had kangaroo? Last year's 6 feet of snow in 2 days is still a bit much. That's a lot of snow. Kangaroo is scarce yet. Haven't had it yet. So I know. So there is a place. I'm doing a quick little search here. Wagshall's Market that has quite a bit of stuff that's a little more on the hard to find side. This place is so OG that they don't have a website. But my recollection when I used to work up near there is that I may have seen kangaroo meat in their freezer at one point. But now I can't find it because obviously they don't have a website. They just have like a Google listing. Bad influence, Leah getting me to cook kangaroo here. Whimsy says, honestly, it's best to get it as fresh as possible and cook it rare to medium rare and then have it with like blueberry sauce and mash. Alpine says, Corey, you should do ostrich too if you haven't. They also, as I recall, have ostrich. For a while before they were bought by Amazon, our Whole Foods used to have ostrich eggs. And now they don't anymore. They don't carry a lot of that like more exotic stuff. Lassie says, but use P. Sherman 42 Wallaby Way. Folks still had the roads clear in like 2 days after the great blizzard of 2021. That's very impressive. I assume that you mean you. And the people who are live close to you. And by close, I mean in the same household or thereabouts. Brigitte says, don't talk to me about ruddy ostrich eggs. Brigitte, come here. Come here. I got something for you. Come here. Curry says, okay, but what will we call an ostrich-based pie? I don't know. Sandy? Alpine says Seattle has worse road clearing than that. Oh, I believe it. I mean, it rains a lot in Seattle, but I don't think you guys get a lot of snow, right? Whimsy says, I presume that people have mostly given up on ostrich farming, so the availability is really down. Is ostrich farming hard? Runner pie. Oh my god. No, you mean the folk of P. Sherman Wallaby Way. I'm Lassieville. Oh, okay. I see. I didn't realize P. Sherman Wallaby Way wasn't actually in Lassieville. My apologies. Horny pie, because holy shit, an ostrich will attempt to seduce literally anything. I did not know this about ostriches. So ostriches are super horny, huh? What method do they, you know what? Do I want to know this? This is probably one of those things I don't want to know. This is the reason I stopped Googling things during the CFJ shows. This exact kind of question is why I have a no Googling policy. Whimsy says it's not necessarily hard. It's just that the market did never super take off. I see. So we're not Pro Ninja is not Pro Ninja anymore. Pro Ninja is now horny pie. They want to go. What? Oh my god, Leah, they want to go. Go at you at all times, I assume. Corey says P. Sherman Wallaby Way is a movie reference that Leah definitely won't catch. I do recognize it, but I don't know what it is. I do recognize it. I recognized it as a reference, but I don't know what it's a reference to. My hair's driving me nuts. To be frank, it's probably actually nowhere. Yeah, Lassie doesn't actually exist in 3D. Lassie is entirely a digital construct. Whimsy says you see an ostrich do any kind of dance, even vaguely, it wants to do you. Okay, I see. Ostriches are like, hey, baby, hey, to other ostriches, zebras, tourists, entire vehicles. And they're keepers. Oh, do you know this because of Zoo Simulator, Abby? What is that name? What is the name of that video game? Leah doesn't know what's up. Leah doesn't know what anything is, honestly. Finding Nemo. Oh, Finding Nemo. I know about Finding Nemo. I watched Finding Nemo. I liked that movie. Oh, yeah. So Lassie has given me a hint that, and Corey just gave me the biggest hint in the universe because it's All right, I need to go see if I can find my little hair clip. I'm sorry, I just do. Planet Zoo. No, I just know it. Plus, I have to live here with my ornithologist friend. Right, the person with the birds. Because there's birds. There's birds in Abby's house. There's birds in Rhubarb Fruit Jam's house. Abby, did I tell you? Wait, hold on. Let me throw a shout out. Actually, she's live right now. You can go see, I think, probably. My friend Rhubarb Fruit Jam also has recently moved, and I didn't realize that she has had burbs this whole time. But now the burbs have a new cage and they're in the background. Or do they call them cages? A new enclosure. And they're in her background now. And so now if you go to Abby's stream, you can hear burbs. If you go to Rhubarb Fruit Jam's stream, you can hear burbs. There's burbs everywhere. Everybody has burbs. Whimsy just has ostriches. I don't think Whimsy streams. I grew up in a very small country town. 5 of the major farms around us switched to ostrich farming, so I'm very familiar. So you're just meandering down the road, minding your own business, and suddenly an ostrich is like, "Hey, baby, hey." Abby says not just any ornithologist, she can tell you what North American bird just by the call. I have a friend. I have a longtime friend, somebody that I worked with years and years and years ago, who's an avid birder. And actually going to look at birds with him was so fun that I bought myself a pair of binoculars. And he's the reason that I know the stupid little fucker who wakes me up this time of year every single time, like 4 freaking o'clock in the morning. Is a Carolina wren. They are very loud. For a tiny little burb, they are very loud. Lassie says P. Sherman Wallaby Way is just a fun address to give as a placeholder to refer around to where you live, but not actually dox yourself. That's fair. Dr. Andy says, well, someone's couch has certainly not been bird free. Shark, Dr. Andy. Yeah, no, don't tell him I made terrible typing. I haven't had coffee yet. I think you should probably have coffee, although I don't ever mind terrible typing. We get a lot of it from Corey. What the hell is... Oh, this is Jim's. Of course this is Jim's. Yeah, this is Jim's. No egrets. Yeah. Bird nerds are no joke. They're really not. They're really not. Only train nerds and fossil nerds can compare. Right. So Firebot would also like to remind Whimsy to take her meds. Does some water sound good right now? Meds, a little stretch break, laundry a switch. I'm looking at you, Leah. I've gone now 3 days without doing the laundry that I said I was going to do on Tuesday. Oops. So probably we need to do that at some point, but not today. Alpine is scuttling over to take meds. Excellent. Whimsy says this is a heavy med conspiracy. It is indeed a heavy med. I took my meds. So if I took my meds, you have to take yours. My meds are not complicated. My meds are an allergy pill and 2 vitamin supplements, probiotics and a vitamin supplement. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to hold on 1 second here while I do a thing. Oh my God. Why do I have so many notifications? I've been live for like 20 minutes. Okay. What's my plan here? My plan here is to take a quick gander and see what else I'm missing. The other thing that we're going to do today, that we're definitely going to do today, regardless of what the final outcome of my not actually having sweet potatoes is we are going to decide whether I should bake bread or whether I should bake cornmeal scones. So we'll put up a poll here in a little bit and decide what we actually do. Corey says, I refuse to take my meds till later when they're due. Well, as long as you take them later, you're in good shape. Whimsy says, I cannot now. I will never be able to function in the morning. All right, well then that's fine. Corey says, when the cats get dinner, so I can't forget. Yes. Whimsy says dosage got changed, and I'm like, I don't have time for sleeping 12-hour stretches. Well, that sounds like an issue that perhaps needs to be taken up with a doctor if these are important meds. Pronan just says bread sounds good right now. I'm gonna get coffee and toast. Coffee and toast sounds delicious. I want more coffee. Oh, I'm supposed to be making hot chocolate. I got to do that too. Castle redeemed it and everything. Castle's probably long gone. Castle was probably just on a work break, given where Castle lives. Alpine says I was getting ready to ask questions and be salty until I saw the next message. My hackles are strained. Oh my gosh. Okay, so give me 1 second here while I dig out some things. I need to dig out things. Things like this. And things like this. And things like this. I think we'll probably use that. And then I also have to do this thing. I mean, you guys don't really care what I do you? Do you really care? Wait, hold on a second. I'm gonna go get my I have got to find something to pull my hair back with because this is driving me crazy. I'll be right back. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, all right, hold on a second. Absolutely. That's why I don't wear my hair down. This is why I pull it back because it's just I can't see anything. It gets in my face. My hands are in it constantly. That's so much better. Okay. Okay, Alpine says a yeasty rising bread or like a soda bread. A yeasty rising bread. In fact, the bread in question is our friend opting out posted a recipe in my Discord a while ago here for easy whole wheat bread that looked kind of fun. And so I thought we might try that. Cuz I'm not really a bread baker, guys. Like I'm not really an expert bread baker. It's like not really my thing. But I thought that might be fun. Okay, so sorry, I'm just looking around here, making sure I'm not missing anything else. I'm honestly not sure how I'd know. Lassie says P. Sherman is kind of a pun on 42 is the meaning of life and simply everything, and I'm not sure about Wallaby Way. 42 is probably inevitably a Douglas Adams reference, which I do know. That's one of very few references that I will understand. Although at this point it is well over 30 plus something years old, right? Isn't it? Isn't it like well over 30 plus something years old? Sorry, I'm just taking a quick gander here. Did you know that my grocery store has pumpkin donuts? Why haven't I ever made pumpkin donuts? That sounds amazing. Should we make pumpkin donuts? Should we just buy pumpkin donuts? Huh. Yeah. All right. Corey says this is why there are claw clips and hair ties all over the place. You know, so my problem is that I broke some some of my claw clips, and I need more of them. And so I need to just like go to Target and buy more. But like right now I feel like I think I've got one mostly broken one and one that's like not broken, and the one that's not broken ends up in, wherever it ends up because I'm kind of a disaster. Sorry, I'm just looking quickly here. Okay. We're going to attempt to have sweet potatoes delivered, and we're just going to see how long this takes. Which is what I'm doing while I'm standing here staring at my phone and making hot chocolate. Lassie says it's 44 years old. Corey is crumbling to dust. Finding Nemo was only 20 years old this year. Oh golly. You know what else? Wait, something else is 20 years old. What was I Oh, Wicked. You guys, Wicked is 20 years old. Can you believe it? I was a full ass adult when Wicked came out. I took a train up to New York City and I saw Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth within like the first, I think it might have been the week it opened. It was definitely within a month of it opening. And I was so excited. It was so good. Sorry, 1 second. You will have my full attention in a second. We're doing the thing. All right. Peloton. What am I making? Right now I'm making hot chocolate. But we are going to be making some kind of chili, and some kind of bread to go with it. Viewers are going to decide here in at some point what I'm actually making. Can we please just load this so that I can place the order? That would be really lovely. Okay. Corey says they like Five Below. They've got good ones. Oh, really? Interesting. Okay. It's not a store I commonly go to. It's not as easy as like just popping into Target. If I go to Five Below, I got to go, well, all the way the hell over by you. And I don't always do that. Whimsy says they've switched to all metal claw clips. I've given up on smashing the plastic ones in my hair in weeks. Interesting. No. Jiminy Christmas. Okay, how do I just not? Okay. Corey says I got pink ones for backup Barbie hair. That's smart. Lassie says Hitchhiker's Guide is 44. Really? That's amazing to me. Although I have to say I read it I actually read it much later than when it came out, which obviously because when it came out I was not, quite born. Well, I guess I had been born but barely. All right, okay. We did it. I did the thing. Excellent. Fabulous. So hopefully, there will be sweet potatoes in our near future. I like that solution to the problem better than trying to change the menu. Corey says that would be a terrible time to trigger a party. It's across the hall from work. Oh, well, okay. So, but the one that I go to is actually in like a strip mall. The one that I've been to anyway is like in a strip mall. There's like, I guess there must be multiple Five Belows over in that general vicinity. Mom, hi. Good morning, kitchen folk. I've been lurking while driving, but going into appointment now and forgot my AirPods. We'll catch you on the other side of my appointment. Not like the other side. Well, that's probably good because that would be awkward. Have fun in your appointment. Lassie says came out on October 12th, 1979. Oh my gosh. That is almost exactly 44 years. It's although this year has moved very quickly and it's November already. Okay, hold on a second. Let's pull up. So I used to have this recipe literally like tucked over here somewhere because I made it so often. I wonder if it's still here. I haven't made a lot of hot chocolate lately because obviously Grog can't eat milk. But one of the things that Misfits Market does is they have this like points program where you can just get like free things for points. And I had them bring me milk the other day because I was like, it's hot chocolate season. So I'm going to see if I can find, yes, it is here. I'm going to put this in the chat because this is adjacent to what I do when I make hot chocolate. I should probably put this on the site so that you guys can, okay, what are you doing? Please don't do that. Please don't do that. All right, you know what? Let's just... I'm a little bit afraid that they're going to like take away access to this in the middle of preparing it. So I'm going to just scroll quickly here. You guys, I'm sorry. I'm so disorganized today. I didn't actually, like, there are days when I know I'm going to be disorganized just because I'm like, you know, I've got going on what I've got going on. I have literally no excuse today. Like I just like looking in the fridge and like pulling out the butternut squash has me so thrown off that I was just like, help. And it happened right before stream too. I was just like, it's ridiculous. Okay. Cool. Okay. So, right. Hot chocolate. Let's go ahead and put the stove cam on so you guys can see what I'm doing back here. I need this and a scale, which I gather may need batteries. Yeah. Grog told me about this yesterday. So we're just going to wing this. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. Nobody panic. I still have gelt from Hanukkah last year. Here's the Dutch processed cocoa. Here is chocolate. Here's additional chocolate if we need additional chocolate. I can't remember. I feel like these squares are about ½ an ounce. And this I think makes, does this make 2 cups? This makes 4 servings. So usually I cut this in half because they mean like little tiny servings. And I don't want a little tiny serving. I want a normal size serving. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a 1.5 tablespoons of Dutch processed cocoa powder. This is my treat, by the way. I also have the where is it? Actually, I don't know where it is. I have a small container. Oh, here it is. A small container of the Penzies hot chocolate mix that I use when I'm feeling lazy. But today we're going to do it correctly. 1.5 tablespoons of cocoa powder. 1, 2, 3. And then we need 1.5 cups of milk. Which is in fact whole milk. One and a half cups. Amazing. That goes in here. It's just a little tiny container of milk. Because I'm the only one who will drink it. And then 3 ounces of chocolate. So that's going to be 6 of these little squares. Pro Ninja says I am back and definitely didn't get coffee. Also 100% drinking at 1 p.m. now. Hey, you are a full adult and are allowed to do precisely whatever you'd like with your own self. So that's 1, 2, 3. This is probably close enough. We're going to chop this, though, because it'll melt better if we chop it. It's also going to make a mess and get everywhere, but I'm going to do it anyway. And we're going to heat this very gently. You would not believe how gently I am heating my milk. All right. And we're not really looking for like shaves here. We're just kind of looking to chop it up really small, but it's going to shave because it's chocolate. So Pro Ninja, if you're not drinking coffee, what are you drinking? I will say I had the best Irish coffee of my life in St. John's. It was after some kind of parade, and I don't remember why I was there for a parade, but there was a parade and it was freezing. And I got back to the hotel and I was like, I asked the bartender, I was like, can you make an Irish coffee? He's like, duh. Although they don't really talk like that there. And I think he must have put like sugar and whipped cream in it, like actual cream. You guys, it was so good. It was hot and caffeine-y and sweet. And it was like, yeah, it was, you know how sometimes things are perfect? That was a perfect thing. Uh-oh. Static electricity. So this is approximately 3 ounces of chocolate based on my best guess. Should I put whiskey in it? No, I don't think so. I'm already enough of a disaster today. Okay. Opting out. This isn't a full adult a contradiction, or did I mishear? No, you did not mishear. I meant a small horse adult. Hi, opting out. How are you? Ronan just says butterscotch schnapps with cream soda. Bought some of that and Bailey's yesterday. That sounds like the perfect snow day drink. Amazing. Alpine says sugar is important for a good Irish coffee. I think it helps the cream float. Interesting. I did not know that. But I feel like whenever I've ordered it here, where I live now, they do a terrible job. And so I was very impressed at the bartending skills of the person at the Fairmont in St. John's, Newfoundland. Okay. Speaking of sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of Demerara or granulated sugar. I have granulated sugar down here, so that's what we're going to use. Because the Demerara sugar's in the closet in the hall, and I'm tired of wandering around. Okay. 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. 1, 2, 3, Okay. Um, just as we like our alcohol and coffee here. I understand that. I think my I don't know if this is still true, but it was at one point true that there were more bars per capita in St. John's, Newfoundland than anywhere else in North America, which is pretty impressive when you think of cities like New Orleans, right? That has like a seriously hard partying reputation. Yeah, so I don't know if that's still true, but when this happened 20 years ago, this was a true thing. Um Alpine says my sister did a similar thing with an espresso martini and made it the best one by adding simple syrup. It was a revelation. Yeah, I feel like there's some things that could just kind of use a little bit of sugar. Um Pronan just says we don't have much here, but there's more bars, pubs than anything else in my town. And then the other thing that I usually add to this that the recipe doesn't call for, is a quarter teaspoon of vanilla, which just adds a little bit of something to the mix. I'm using vanilla bean paste because I have it, but regular vanilla will work just fine. This is, hold on a second. I'm going to use just a tiny spoon to get the vanilla bean paste out of here. We don't want to waste any of that. Okay. Right. This can all just go here. And then I have also a marshmallow, a giant roaster for floating in my hot chocolate once it is done. I also need to add some, I think, water, right? Am I supposed to add water? Oh no, this one doesn't have me add water. Okay, cool. I used to make one that did have me add water too, but this one doesn't, so that's fine. So we're gonna whisk this a little bit. Actually, let's whisk it with this. We don't need to use a big whisk. We can just use a tiny whisk. And basically, we don't want to scald the milk. We don't want to burn the chocolate. So we're just heating this very slowly. This is going to be so good. And as you can see, like, it does take a little bit more time than, you know, than just, like, whisking a powdered mix in, but it's not that bad. And, like, you could just, like, because it's equal parts sugar and cocoa powder, you could, like, make up your own kind of little, like, mixy thing if you wanted. You could even use powdered vanilla, which exists. It's one of the things that you use if you're trying not to, like, color a frosting, for example, because it's not brown, it's white. But it's cool because this doesn't have, like, powdered milk in it, right? So you're not gonna, like, just mix it with water. You can mix it with almond milk. You can mix it with oat milk. I'm just using real milk because I like real cow's milk because I have it. I guess it's all real milk. I'm just using cow's milk because I have it. But we also have almond milk and oat milk, and I could have easily done it with that. Although I have to say, I think actually for the most part, when it comes to, like, hot, like, drinks that are, like, mixed with things, I think Grog's preference is actually coconut milk. Because Grog is the lactose-free individual in our household. Opting out says, speaking of vanilla, I had mentioned to my wife about making your extract like you were talking about the other day. She was reading an article somewhere that if you don't want to wait, you can seal the alcohol and beans and sous vide it to be done inside a day. That's so cool. What a great idea. Pro Ninja says, now I wish I'd made it into a hot chocolate. Now I haven't made hot chocolate like that in a while. See, you should have just waited. You should have just waited. But honestly, your selection with the butterscotch schnapps and the cream soda sounds pretty friggin' fantastic. So the chocolate is almost melted. I mean, obviously, it doesn't take a lot for chocolate to melt. Chocolate melts at like body temperature, and this is hotter than that. So, I'm just making sure that I got it all whiskied up. And then we'll just wait until it's just steaming to drink it. This is a tremendously good treat. Largely because I don't often have cow's milk in the house. But also because, you know, like I said, it's a little bit more effort. And also because this is the first really truly cold couple of days we've had. All right. Nice. We're going to let that heat for a little bit. Might try some hot chocolate later. I mean, that sounds pretty good. Sorry, I'm just checking where we are here. Okay. Okay. So, I think well, I printed recipes. So let me go get those. I'll be right back. And now that opting out is here, what we can do is go ahead and put a poll in the chat for what we are going to be doing in addition to this sweet potato chili. How long should we make this poll last? Do we think 5 minutes? That seems fair. Let's do that. All right. So, as promised, y'all can choose my dinner. Okay, so we're gonna make chili. And we're gonna make either cornmeal scones, and I'm not gonna like send you guys a recipe or anything. You can just take my word for it. Cornmeal scones or wheat bread. You can vote right now in the poll. I'm not allowing you to stack the poll. Just one vote per person. So you guys can decide what I do next, essentially. Because I'm still waiting for sweet potatoes. Both sound delicious. Yes, but I can't make both. I can only make one. There's not time to make both. Although if you want to torture me, which I know some of you probably do, you can choose Droff. Because that's the rules. We are Droff, and therefore one of the poll options is Droff. Alpine says, will you share the recipe if you make them? Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, if you guys want the rest, I mean, I just mean, like, I'm not gonna, like, let you, like, oh, I don't know why not. The bread recipe is already in the Discord. So if you can search for the bread recipe in the Discord, if you're in the Discord. I don't know, are you in the Discord? I think you are. But here's the Discord if you're not in the Discord. And then the cornmeal scones, I will, obviously none of this is on my site yet. Because I haven't decided what I'm actually making, and I don't actually want to put like, but the cornmeal scone recipe's here. Uninformed votes like a real democracy. Exactly. I don't know. I don't know why I thought it would be better for you guys not to like know. What do I know? Honestly, we have some bullshit happening here right now. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to like go into it, but like literally in my county, there's some serious BS happening and I'm really annoyed. Okay, Albine is in the Discord, just really interested in the cornmeal scones. I am also very interested. Droff is holding 50% of the vote. Yes, because y'all are gremlins. Of course Droff is holding 50% of the vote. Because I said that y'all could torture me by not actually making a decision, and so y'all woke up and chose violence because that's just who you are as people. All right. That is warm. I'm going to get my fancy little turtle mug here and pour hot chocolate into my turtle mug. See, 4 servings, my little, you know, whatever. Lassie voted scones. Basil says democracy is the worst form of government except all the others. Displacement in action. Will this overflow? No. Barely. Look. Look. It's a huge marshmallow. The marshmallow is almost the size of the mug. Corey's gonna do her bit to turn the tide. Are you gonna turn the tide toward Droff? Gremlin. Alpine says they make really good fruit and chocolate chip scones, so I'm always curious about others. That sounds delicious. It's a big marshmallow. It's a huge marshmallow. We got them, I think, when we went away, in the late summer to actually make s'mores out of. And so I happen to have marshmallows, and so I'm just gonna, marshmallow it up. Old school pirates were a true democracy. Really? Interesting. How? It's a giant marshmallow. It's such a big marshmallow. It makes me really happy. Opting out says our new mayor is under investigation right now. She booted the old mayor when he allowed his love for unrestrained development take over, and non-white families coming within sight of some prominent families and their landed gentry cosplay. Local politics are a lot. All right. Y'all really 100% did wake up and choose violence. We have tied between cornmeal scones and Droff. And so, okay, 50 made it a tie. Thank you. Thank you, friend. Appreciate it. Oh, they voted on leadership. I see. Okay. Brigitte says hot chocolate sounds marvelous right now. Abby says, I just got some myself. Hot chocolate. Excellent. I am an influencer. I love this. You guys, this is so good. It's like really rich, right? Like, I understand why they do it the way they do it and say that this is like 4 servings because it's like drinking melted chocolate. It's really good. Okay. Now, because you guys tied the poll, we are just going to go ahead and make cornmeal scones because that's the one I saw. And also the other recipes already in the Discord. So, let me go ahead and print this out. All the recipes will be on the site at some point in the future. But for now, we're just gonna, can we not just print this? Do we have to actually, there's no like print this button. It's just, oh yeah, there is. Okay, never mind. I'm just blind. Okay. Print. I guess print all of this or just print the first page? No, just print the first page. The first page is the only important page. Print. All right. Okay, so Lassie says the most popular guy was the leader. Oh, okay, and Brigitte wants to see a photo of Abby's hot chocolate. I see. Abby says they also had oh, that's the printer. I'm like, what's that noise? It's the printer. Abby says they also had a say on ration distribution, worked closely with the quartermaster, and were theater folks through and through. Abby says they don't have an endoscope. It has already been consumed. Please don't show us a picture of your hot chocolate now. That's a little bit too much. It is like drinking chocolate. It is. Lassie says that's a democracy right there. There's a tie. Well, I'm gonna do this because I want it. No, there's a tie because that's what's on the screen in front of my face. I suppose I could have given. Well, no, see, because here's the thing, right? So if I were to like split the votes for Droff right down the middle, then we would either be making like cornmeal scones is going to be more, right? So it'd be 7.5 votes for cornmeal scones and however many less for the bread. So we'll just do the bread another time. It's not like it's disappearing from the universe. I still want to make it. We're just not going to make it today. I'm going to get like marshmallow sugar on my nose. Let me see. It's funny to shove my face in this cup and get marshmallow in my face. All right. Let us start this nonsense. Let me go get the recipe. This is calling for 3/4 cup of buttermilk. We're not going to use buttermilk, obviously, because we want Grog to be able to eat these. We are, however, going to heat the oven to 400 degrees. We need bowls. You know what? It's so refreshing to be able to just kind of like bend over and acquire things that I need for cooking. It's like such a novelty. Okay. Bowl. More bowl. Haha! Cut in butter using pastry blender. No. This is what we have a food processor for. Okay, so we need flour. Lassie says, so we need a runoff vote. Scones versus Droff, with rigging allowed to make it more realistic. The people who have more money decide who wins. No. That's precisely why I didn't want additional extra votes. Because it's garbage. Not as garbage as making a fully registered candidate a write-in candidate, though. Anyway. Okay. 2 cups of flour. Mom says back in the car, so lurking while driving. Well, that's good. Don't text while driving. That's a bad thing. Flour. Cornmeal. 1/3 cup. 1/3 cup of cornmeal. Where's my cornmeal? Cornmeal is right here. Corey is also driving to work, and Corey found pumpkin spice marshmallows for Zan. What? Well, Corey, if you have time, pop across the hall and see if they have those claw clips. No, I'm kidding. Joking. I will go to Five Below all my own self. I don't need you to run my errands for me. Okay. Right. 1/3 cup of cornmeal, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And I also need a 1/2 teaspoon because I need 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Oh, actually, you know what I should do? What I should do is I should pour some vinegar into a cup here. I'm going to use oat milk. The oat milk that we have is creamier than our almond milk. Basically, if you don't know how to make vegan buttermilk, it's just gonna be like a soured milk situation. You just do it exactly the same way as you would if you didn't have buttermilk and didn't want to go to the store. I think this says 3/4 of a cup, right? 3/4 of a cup. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna get 3/4. For whatever reason, this set actually came with 3/4 teaspoons, which is very convenient. Because we're doing cornmeal, I'm gonna do apple cider vinegar, because why not? And we're just gonna pour 3/4 of a teaspoon of vinegar into this oat milk and let it sit. And that will be sufficiently acidic that our cornmeal scones should rise just fine. Okay. Teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda. Baking powder, baking soda. Alpine says, Leah, now there's like a 75% chance they're getting you claw clips. I realized as soon as I said that not only what I had said, but that also retracting at that point would make it even more likely. But I tried. I tried. You can't tell me I didn't try. I should know better than to joke about things like this. I really should. I think the only question is whether they will be butterflies and if they will have glitter. A teaspoon of baking soda. Half a teaspoon of baking soda, and then half a teaspoon of salt. This is literally just like making buttermilk biscuits. Why do they call these scones? Fascinating. I'm gonna whisk this. This is like, y'all know me. You can never take it back. No, you can't. Lassie says, I am off to make turkey biscuit pie. Bye, Leah Fox shirt. Have a great something. Have a squid on the house. Thank you, Lassie. I'm not entirely sure what has prompted the repeated squid distribution, but I have to say I'm here for it. Thank you. It's good to see you. Thanks for popping by. Always nice to have you around. Of course, they weren't until you said that. Too late. I'm on the mole. I'm at the ball. I have mischief on my mind. Mayhem. Oh wait, we have a mayhem. It's not mine though. Hold on a second. I can do this. I can do a mayhem. I can even do an animated mayhem in rainbow holographic colors. Very appropriate for Five Below. Thank you, Des. Opting out says, maybe it's the shibboleth. Are you of the right class to be making this recipe? You could be right. You very well could be right. I think it's making it sound fancier than it is. Also, I think the method of... There's like this much left in here. I think also the method is going to be slightly different, right? Although I have to say, when I make biscuits, like when I make regular buttermilk biscuits, I don't use a biscuit cutter. I think re-rolling scraps or like piecing scraps into more biscuits is bullshit. So I just, I use this, which is probably what we're going to do with the scones, to cut them into pieces and bake them that way. I don't care if they're round. Why does the biscuit have to be round? It's stupid. Honestly, they're better square. Okay. Cut in butter using a pastry blender. Okay, wait. First of all, I'm going to move the pumpkins. I had to turn the pumpkin thing off, you guys, because the pumpkin thing was still on and I didn't want people guessing the number of pumpkins. because I don't know how many pumpkins there are in there anymore because I've eaten a ton of them. Okay, so half a cup of butter. I mean, wait, what did it say? See, half a cup? Half a cup of cold butter. Is this half a cup? Yes, I only need one. Nice. Should have gotten more butter too. Oh well. It's plenty of butter for today. Just gonna use a steak knife. Santa! Hi, Santa. How are you? Good to see you. I mean, if you don't have a food processor, you could definitely cut in the butter with a pastry blender or a what do you call it? With a pastry blender or a 2 forks. But we have a food processor, so we're just going to do it with that. I am just going to cut it up into little pieces, though, just so that it goes better. This is not locked in. That could have almost been disastrous. And then I'm just going to make sure that we break up the butter. It doesn't do any good if we just get it all mashed together. Speaking of New Orleans, you guys, which I know we weren't, but we kind of were. When we were talking about bars per capita, I mentioned something about New Orleans. I mentioned a while back that we were not going to be home for Thanksgiving. And we are not going to be home for Thanksgiving. We are, in fact, going to be in New Orleans with a friend. And potentially his new girlfriend. I'm not really sure how that's going to go, but, you know, whatever. And so there will be some cancellations, some stream cancellations later in the month. So the 20, whatever that is, right? The 20, so the 21st, the 23rd, and the 24th. So that entire week, there will be no streams. As far as I know, probably. There's a slim chance the trip might get canceled. The plan is to be gone that entire week. Alpine says, I love me a round biscuit, but now I have to try that and see if I get Oops All Fluffy biscuits. Yes. The only thing is you do have to like trim the edges off, right? So just like the thinnest hair of a margin of the edges, because otherwise they'll rise lopsided. If you don't care, then you don't have to do that, but they will rise lopsided. If you want them to rise like rise, then you just have to like. And also, just so you guys know, if you do use a biscuit cutter, I put them away. If you do use a biscuit cutter, right, push straight down and pull straight up. Don't twist it. A lot of people will twist it, but that literally collapses your layers. You're ruining your fluff with the simple act of twisting your biscuit cutter. Things to know. All right, Corey says, have fun. I'm off to actually work now. Bye, Corey. I will miss you. Have a good day at work. I hope it's unpainful. If he has any actual requests for hair clips, DM me. No, I'm good. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, and Santa's taking notes. Thank you, Santa. That's appropriate behavior. All right, so let's go ahead and process this. And we're basically just looking for kind of like sandy texture here. And I'll check this to see if it's sufficiently sandy. Yeah, this is all good and incorporated. Amazing. Biscuit cutter when a scone slicer is clear in order. What are we, peasants? No, well, yes. Hopefully. I hope there aren't any actual aristocrats in my chat. That would be distressing. Okay. I mean, you know, I guess we welcome all here, but seriously, do those people actually, like, want to hang out with me? I can't imagine they do. All right, so I'm going to get a, spatula and fold in the rest of this. Turn the dough onto a lightly floured surface, knead lightly 10 times. Pat or roll into a 7-inch circle on an ungreased cookie sheet that's been sprinkled with cornmeal. Oh, okay. Well, I should probably do that because I put the cornmeal away. That is an apricot. That is not cornmeal. I mean, I suppose we could scatter apricots over our, you know, good enough, I guess. JR Cases, can you stop looking cute? I want to steal food. I tried to not look cute today. I tried to look, I'm all like ripped jeans and orthopedic shoes. No adorable, no adorable 6-inch white patent leather Mary Jane platforms today. Hi JRK, how are you? It's good to see you. With the collapse of the middle class, yeah, landed gentry can duck right off. Agreed. This is right. I did. No, I didn't. I don't know. I don't know. I'm very uncomfortable with this topic of conversation. All I'm saying is that, like, on Tuesday, I tried to look cute. I tried to look like Cher, and Cher's cute. Today, I didn't try. Today, I just tried to look like me. This is actually coming together very nicely. I like the texture of this. Okay. But I am going to, at this stage, take their advice and turn this out onto a floured surface. Potentially not this surface, though. Potentially, we might grab a different surface. Hold on a second. Move this over here so that I don't have to wash that. This is moving on then. I think I'm going to make a chicken pot pie for dinner. I think that sounds amazing. I think you should do that. I think chicken pot pie sounds miraculous. I do hope you mean a frozen one, though, because otherwise that sounds like a lot of work. It is a good choice. It's 100% a good choice. This is supposed to be on a floured surface, but I don't actually think it needs it. It doesn't seem to be really, like, sticking that much. Okay. Also, I don't want to overwork this. And this seems to be like sticking together just fine, so I think we'll just kind of... And then it needs to be a 7-inch round circle. That seems to be about right. It's about 7 inches, right? Score top into 8 wedges, cutting halfway down to the bottom. Ooh, interesting. Okay, cool. We can definitely do that. I'm going to put it on the cookie sheet first, though, before I do that. Because applying pressure at that stage seems like a bad idea. Let me wash my hands. Okay. This is going to be a quick and easy chicken pot pie, but the general idea will be there. I think that sounds terrific. So, halfway down. Okay. This is fine. Seems kind of small. These seem kind of small. But all that means is we might have to make more tomorrow. Or Friday. No, tomorrow is Friday. We might have to make more Saturday, which is okay. We can do that. All right. Cool. Good deal. Right. And there we go. That was pretty easy. Did you see how easy that was? That was so easy. That was a lot easier than bread would have been, I think, actually. It certainly took less time because it doesn't need time to rise. Okay. So we're just going to bake this for 20 to 25 minutes. Nice. We'll start with 20. I very much doubt it's going to take 20. In my oven, it's probably going to take 25. Yeah, but it's fine. It really was easy. I mean, part of it was that, like, I didn't have to go through all the effort of, like, cutting in the butter by hand, which is a whole thing if you don't have, like, a pastry blender. If you're actually trying to do it with 2 forks, like, that's a thing. But if you do have a food processor, it's a pretty simple process. This marshmallow is such a heckin' marshmallow that it barely even melted in the hot chocolate. My mouth is smeared with chocolate. This is a whole thing. I'm trying to lick chocolate off the marshmallow so it doesn't drip down my shirt. This is an excellent treat. Thank you, Castle, wherever you are. Yum. Okay. Right. So, I also have here the sweet potato and beef chili recipe. So we're gonna go ahead and prep everything except the sweet potatoes, which are, as I speak, winging their way toward me, presumably. Okay. Yes, they are. They just need me to do one thing, so I'm gonna do the thing. Cool. We'll see if that works. If not, we'll go with what we've got. We'll try. Okay. Fly, little veggies, fly. Yes, exactly. I don't think they're going to be here until 1:00, but that's okay. We'll do what we can. Since the scones are going to take 25 minutes to bake anyway, we have plenty of time. Okay. So, sweet potato chili recipe. 1 pound of sweet potatoes, 1 medium white onion. I don't have white onions. I have yellow onions, but it'll be fine. Did you know that there's actually a difference between white, yellow, and yellow onions? I actually didn't. Supposedly white onions are milder, like even if they're not sweet onions. But that most sites agree that they are pretty much interchangeable, unless you're eating them raw, in which case people recommend white onions. So I guess if they call for a white onion, what they're saying is, we want you to have a milder onion flavor, but also I don't care. And then garlic, which, by the way, I did in fact pick the garlic up off the floor. Thank you for asking. 4 cloves of garlic. 1, 2, 3. That only counts as 3. 4. So what are you putting in this pot pie, Des? I actually kind of like the idea of a shortcut pot pie, right? Like with like a rotisserie chicken, or with like leftover chicken or something, which I guess is actually technically probably how you're supposed to do it. The only recipe that I've made on stream for pot pie, first of all, was ages ago. And I happen to know the exact date of the day of when I made my chicken pot pie on stream. It was March 17th, 2022. And the reason I know that is that clip of me in the raid video going stab, 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 stab was those chicken pot pies. Which were bourbon sage chicken pot pies that I made entirely from scratch. And it's a heckin' lot of work. They are good though. They're really, really good. We should probably do those again at some point because honestly, there are a lot more people watching me now than there were then. And I haven't made them in a really long time. Like, since that stream. And you can make a ton of them and just freeze them. And it's, then it's convenient dinners for days. This is typical mixed veggies, condensed cream of something soup, and using some Jiffy cornbread as a crust. That's a great idea. That's a really great idea. I like that idea. That sounds delicious. When I was growing up, my next door neighbor was British and made sausage rolls using Jiffy pie crust mix. Like the crust was Jiffy pie crust mix. Very, very convenient. Now when I do it, I actually make pie crust, but I still use her recipe. Otherwise. But if it's cold, that sounds like a really good. It's like chili, right? It's just one of those things that like doesn't sound good in the heat of the summer, but like getting on towards fall and winter sounds amazing. Actually I'm going to throw that in this. Actually, you know what? I'll put it in this little thing. So I'm not really sure at what stage I'm going to actually cook this. We may just do mise en place depending on how long it takes the sweet potatoes to get here. Okay. This is, I mean, I could eat chicken pie, pot pie anytime, but yeah, we're wanting something cozy. Yes, especially if it is finally cold. Although it's unusual for you guys to get cold where you are around the same time that I get cold where I am. Usually I get cold first and it stays heckin' hot where you are for a little while yet. So you guys must be relieved. Or maybe it was just that it just stayed hot here. Probably just stayed hot here, honestly. Oops. A little bit of a... Here we go. Like, I'm used to kind of getting down into the, like... I mean, I guess it did kind of get down into the 70s a little bit, but for the most part, it kind of stayed, like, warm through September and October. Like, you know, like shorts and t-shirts warm, not like, you better throw a sweater over that warm. Onions are making me cry again. I'm gonna have to rinse this. Put this stuff over here. Or just learn to deal with waterproof mascara, which I hate. Opting out says, speaking of chill, I had a good 2 truths and a lie idea about food, but I have a friend coming over presently, so we'll have to wait for another day. Well, that's okay. That redemption is not going anywhere. So you may redeem it anytime that it is convenient for you. It is very good to see you, and I hope your meet up with your friend is fun. Okay. Des was expecting it to be more the 70s, but we skipped that and went to 40s. Though tomorrow we're jumping back up to the 70s or 80s. Bizarre weather patterns. Which, as I learned from an article in, like, Newsweek magazine in, like, 1995, is exactly what scientists said was going to happen. We love the South. Technically, I'm also in the South. And there are times when I am well aware of it. Okay. 1 canned chipotle pepper and adobo sauce, which actually I think is out here. And I assume we're going to be cutting this up, presumably. Finely chop. Okay. The chipotle pepper. Actually, I'm going to stick that in here too. I think we also need some of the sauce at some later date. But for now, I called these chipotles on the phone with my mom the other night, and she was like, and I was like, yes, I know it's not pronounced that way, but we call the restaurant chipotle because chipotle is not exactly authentic Spanish food either, or authentic Mexican food, I should say. It's definitely not authentic Spanish food. Okay. Drain and rinse 1 15-ounce can of kidney beans. Okay, where are my kidney beans? There's black beans. and pumpkin. I know Grog told me that we had kidney beans. The question is, where are they? Did he pull them out? He did. Convenient. So smart, that Grog. Here. Chip, Taupe, Lees. That is somehow worse than Chipotle. Kidney beans. I'm actually very grateful that Wegmans brand kidney beans don't contain corn syrup, because a lot of them do, which I just thought was absolutely bizarre. Why does it need to contain corn syrup? Okay, just gonna leave those in the sink. Okay, now Dutch oven. Right, actually, let's go ahead and throw all of this in the sink. So don't need that. I'm gonna wipe this off because it's got chocolate on it. It still has chocolate on it, but now it's slightly cleaner. Put this over here. Grab my Dutch oven. Oh, wow. Okay. My knees just told me that they're old today. Probably the change in weather. Ugh. Also the fact that I haven't been to bar in like a month. I've just been busy, okay? Busy with what? I don't know. Just busy. Busy having a I don't know. Maybe is it a midlife crisis? Are women allowed to have midlife crises? Are people who don't want a sports car and a blonde allowed to have midlife crises? Okay. What did I do with the top? Here it is. Opting out to subsidies. The answer to the U.S. question, answer to any question in the U.S. that has corn in it is subsidies. You are entirely correct. Distressingly correct. I really like you a lot. Opting out. I'm so glad you found your way over here. I'm laughing because I don't want to cry on stream. Okay, so ground beef, a pound of ground beef, which is hopefully defrosted. I did pull it out. Oh dear, no, it is not defrosted. I pulled it out last night and put it in the fridge, and it's still quite frozen. No crying in the kitchen. There's crying in the kitchen. There's crying in baseball. I already cried over the onions. Okay, so add a ground beef in an even layer and let cook undisturbed until browned on the bottom, about 4 minutes. Stir with a wooden spoon or spatula, breaking up the meat into smaller pieces. The nice thing about chili, though, is that, in fact, I can actually just put it in there still slightly frozen and it'll be fine, which is great. I love that for us. I need scissors. It'll take a little longer to cook, but it doesn't break any food safety rules or anything that I'm aware of. I wouldn't try to do this with like hamburgers or anything. That's so funny. I put this, well, I mean, I guess, okay, so you know what? My math is all screwed up, right? Because usually what happens is when I take something out of the freezer, I intend to cook it like at dinner time, right? And so you defrost it in the fridge at 24 hours ahead of time. But if I did it last night at like 9 o'clock before I went to bed, then actually it's only been in the fridge for like a little over 12 hours, which is not actually enough, as it turns out. So really the problem is that I'm cooking dinner at 11 o'clock in the morning. There. Okay, what else? What's next? Stir with a wooden spoon or spatula. Reduce the heat to medium. Add the remaining onion. Heat a tablespoon of olive oil in a large pot or Dutch oven over medium-high heat until shimmering. Add 1 pound of ground beef in an even layer and let cook undisturbed until browned on the bottom about 4 minutes. Stir with a wooden spoon or spatula, breaking up the meat into smaller pieces. Season with 1 teaspoon of the kosher salt. Good deal. Cook until cooked through 2 to 3 minutes more. Transfer the beef to a plate with a slotted spoon. Ugh, really? All right, fine. Reduce the heat to medium. Add the remaining onion and season with a pinch of kosher salt. What do they mean, remaining onion? Isn't all of the onion remaining? Do people even proofread things? I assume they mean all of the onion because there's just nothing here about additional onion in any other step. That's okay, fine. Okay, so let's see. We've done the chipotle peppers, done the kidney beans, olive oil, ground beef, kosher salt. Let's get the kosher salt out. Kosher salt. We're gonna get some dark brown sugar, which is down here. And chili powder, which is hopefully over here somewhere. Oh, no, you know where it is? It's up here. It's here. Chili powder. 2 teaspoons to 1 tablespoon of sauce from the can of adobo chipotle peppers. That's good. Cumin. Smoked paprika. Dried oregano. We might need more of soon. 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. And a bottle of light lager beer. I don't think I have a bottle of light lager beer. All right, so here is what the scones are looking like. As predicted, they are not cooked. They're going to go in for another 5 minutes. Bertie says, I thought Leah made all the rules. Des says, shh, don't remind her. It'll go to her head. Yes. No, I do make all the rules here. I do. Except for the ones that I stole from other people. There are a fair number of rules here that I adopted when I started streaming that I didn't necessarily fully understand the need for at the time. But having streamed now for like 18 months, I'm keenly aware of. Let's measure out all these spices, because why not? All right. Teaspoons. I think most of these things are in teaspoons. Two teaspoons of ground cumin. 1, 2, a tablespoon of chili powder, which we can also do with teaspoons. That's just 3 teaspoons to 1 tablespoon. Gosh, this chili powder smells amazing. It's amazing, like, what fresh spices, like, the difference between, like, getting fresh spices and, like, staler spices can make. I assume it makes a difference to the flavor, too, but I can really smell it. 3 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika, which I'm going to need more of soon, unless I have some in the cabinet. I might have a backup of this, honestly. Let's check while I'm thinking about it. Doesn't look like it. Let's write that on a list then, so that we have a list for Pensies getting started. Smoked paprika. Shark Kaylee. Hi, Kaylee. How are you? It's good to see you. How's your day going? Didn't sleep last night, so I may just have woke up, but I'm going to make the most of the other half. How's your day? My day is going really well. I am just uh give me 1 second here. There we go. Making chili and scones. I let chat vote on what we were going to make today, and we made cornmeal scones that went really, really fast. And they are smelling delicious. They look delicious, and I'm really excited. So, yeah. Other than that, I guess I'm feeling slightly disorganized today. I realized that I had purchased butternut squash instead of sweet potatoes, which are not the same thing. And so that was, a thing that made my life slightly more complicated. But I ordered sweet potatoes, and they're on their way here. So it'll be okay. These are browner than they were. This still feels worryingly soft in the middle, and they're not exactly what I would call brown. I'm actually going to throw these in the oven for another 5 minutes. As I said, I think my oven temperature is probably a little low, and so things like that tend to take a little longer than they probably should. But I am sorry to hear that you slept poorly. I actually slept really well. My problem these days tends to be like waking up earlier than I intended to. But like it's not, I don't know. Like it's not that bad. Like waking up at 4:30 instead of like 5:30 is, there are worse things. And I go to bed at 9 o'clock, like reliably. So I still get plenty of sleep. Okay. We're getting there. Basil says a few years ago I bought an oven thermometer and was shocked how far out of calibration it was. It was like 20 to 30 degrees Celsius at least. Wait, that's huge. I had one in my old oven, but I don't have one in this one, I don't think. I probably should check it. I think the other thing is too that, like, I don't know, you open the thing and it lets the heat out and then it's, Kaylee says, I think it's just anxiety from wrapping up my course. Congratulations. On top of day-to-day anxiety, because once like 8:30 p.m. hits, I'm just super restless and anxious. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's understandable. I mean, I honestly don't know too many people who just have no anxiety whatsoever at all. Maybe it's just a self-selected group of people. I'm not really sure. um and I'm sorry you're experiencing that. And I'm hoping that maybe now that your course is done, writing my final paper this week, though, and then just next week, and then I finished my first grad course. Kaylee, that's huge. Congratulations. You're killing this. You're going to do great. It's going to be okay. I have faith in you. What was the count for the pumpkins yesterday? It was the Tuesday, but yeah, close enough. It was actually 164 pumpkins. So these pumpkins. There's probably like, I don't know, maybe 150 now. I ate them. And my mother, believe it or not, guessed 163. So that's funny. And so my mom technically won, but my mom was like, I don't game. I don't want a gaming gift card. And so actually, the next closest was 160, and it was Sarah. Yeah, hashtag rigged. Precisely. I promise you, the only person who knew how many pumpkins were in that jar except me was Grog. My mother didn't know. But the other the next closest one, the next closest guess was 160, and that was Sarah, just by like one, because See My Jane guessed 169, and that was very close. So yeah, so Sarah ended up being our winner. By which I figured out that Sarah and I are not Steam friends, so we have since rectified that. One of my coworkers' friends has like no anxiety at all, or depression, or anything. I'm studying her carefully. That is really interesting. That is honestly pretty amazing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like, yeah, that's really pretty incredible to like make it to adulthood with like very little in the way of mental health challenges. Although interestingly, I don't know how this came my way. Maybe it's just because like Facebook knows how old I am or something. But I've been getting a lot of content on Instagram about perimenopause. And maybe it's just because a lot of the people in my circle maybe kind of like dealing with that. And one of the things that I didn't realize was the degree to which women in perimenopause start to experience some mental health symptoms that they have never experienced before. That, I mean, not necessarily, obviously it varies from person to person, and I'm not a doctor, please talk to yours. But I was really surprised to hear that. I guess, and one of the things that's a common refrain among these accounts is how little it's actually studied, and like how little it's understood, and like how much of doctors' opinions on this subject is like shaped by the fact that it hasn't really been studied as extensively as things that get women pregnant. So interesting. Jane says, nope, don't need any no, new bonus mental health. Yeah, I was super surprised. I was super surprised to hear that because that was one of the things. I mean, things like sleep disorders. In addition to like all the things that you think about when it comes to like menopause or approaching menopause, I was really surprised. So I like if you are my age or thereabouts, it could be an interesting thing to go and look up some of this information because I was like, oh wow, okay, interesting. No idea. Um, right. Okay, so what's our next thing? I did the beef and they want me to add the remaining onion and season with a pinch of kosher salt. Okay, so we have to turn the heat down just a little bit. I don't want this to be greasy. And this feels like a little bit too much in the way of fat. So I'm just going to, like, I don't really care about, the fat. I just don't want it to like have a greasy mouthfeel. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Cool. So we're going to cook the onion with some of the salt, a pinch of kosher salt. Kaylee says, I don't know. I have no idea. It said typical of any women's. I think it must be like stereotypes or something. It's silly. Kaylee says it's very typical of any women's health issues. Research has been predominantly on men, so we end up missing things in women because the symptoms are different. Well, and also like, and I guess it's a bias toward like, toward women being only important while they're fertile. Love that for us. Although I have to say, honestly, my doctor seems to be pretty well informed, but I'm not actually that surprised because she's obviously kind of, she's a little bit older than I am, so she's obviously kind of gone through some of these things herself. So I am grateful that I am likely to get good care in this regard. But it did just kind of like the fact that all of this information is kind of, I mean, and obviously any medical information that you find on the internet, particularly someplace like Instagram, please treat it with a grain of salt. Like, please ask a real doctor because not all of these things are good information, But it does, the thing that I do like about it is just kind of like, it prompted me to like think about it and like think about some of the things that have been happening over the course of the last few years. And you put it into context, you're like, oh, this is something I have to keep an eye on. Jane says, I have a blue Dutch oven too, but I don't know where it is. I want to use it though. Silly losing things in the move. You moved. When did you move? And losing things in the move is very annoying. Yam Yam Ref says, this 4-year-old is learning Spanish at school, but he only, okay. Yes, por favor. Yes. Misogyny in a STEM field? Unthinkable. I know, right? Or anywhere for that matter. Basil says, yep, also see any research on neurodivergence, BMI, which is also super racist, etc., etc., etc. Yes. Kaylee says, my field is psychology. It's a relatively new thing to not think women's mental illness was caused by wandering uterus from lack of childbearing. Amazing. That is wild. That is completely wild. Yeah, I think the one doctor that I've followed most closely for this, and I'm not gonna I'll DM anybody who's interested, but I think not all of her content is stuff that I would want to share widely, just because she kind of there are some things about some of the things that she says that are problematic, I think. There's a lot of good information there, but there's some things that I would say I would treat a little more carefully, which is that the most recent post I saw was that she was doing continuing education in her field, which is basically this women's health. She runs a private clinic, and she specializes in perimenopause and menopause care. So specializes in middle-aged women. And she was trying to do her continuing education to keep her like specialty, right? And she went looking for articles to read. So you have to read certain articles from a certain pool of articles, I guess. I don't know how any of this works. And there were only 3 in hundreds of articles about women's health that were mostly about things like how to get pregnant and that sort of stuff. And like one of the articles that would have been relevant to her area of expertise was about folks who had had hysterectomies, like had been so we're premature. I don't want to. I'm probably not using the right terminology here, but like premature menopause, like a function of their body required them to go into kind of early menopause. It's just really interesting. Um, just having medical discussions. Hubby says you should bring back the cure recommendation for women to go live by a seaside town as a cure for every mental health issue. I think a lot of women would just like that part back. I think they would, yeah. And insurance should cover it. Absolutely. Hubby says also, I'm sure masturbation was a common treatment. Yes. Well, I mean, I feel like, automod is such a weird thing, right? Like there's so many things that talk about like, like racist and sexist. There's so many things that like it doesn't hold that are just like seriously, and some things that it does hold that you're like, okay, come on, we're just trying to have a reasoned adult conversation here. We're not like, like, come on. I can type B00BI35 in my stream title, but I can't actually type breasts? Are you kidding me? Fine. Yes. Like here, Jane, apparently. Places where you can't say pound cake, and that's just like a food. In my case, it was the duck breasts. I've talked about this before. Abby says my automod has it out for Johnny. It auto-modded butt or something benign the other day. How do you even have butt spot if it auto-mods butt? I mean, I know there's different settings, but it's such a broad strokes thing. Like we're going to have limited moderation, or we're going to have moderate moderation, or we're going to have intense moderation, or whatever it is. It's just like, seriously? All right. Okay. So, remaining onion, season with a pinch of salt, cook until soft and translucent, add the garlic, cook until fragrant, 1 minute. Okay. Ha! While that cooks, I am going to do a very, very quick BRB. I'm going to give you all who are here a very small sneak peek of something that is going to be coming to the channel next week. I have decided on Tuesday. I'll come back. When I come back, I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that. But for the moment, we're going to do a quick little BRB. And yeah, I'll be right back with groceries. And I'm back. Hi, guys. I take it y'all liked that. Oh, I have to switch that emote back. Okay. Okay. Y'all said Automod would probably point out the closest blue pill store. Hobby, you're hilarious. Yes, they draw frequent comparisons to Viagra versus how they treat middle-aged women's health. Yes, look at the sleeping baby having the goodest dreams, adorable little potato, getting little kicky dreams. I know, isn't it so good? I want to scratch his little belly. Basil says Blue used to get the kicky dreams and occasionally the barky dreams, and they were so funny. These tiny little sleep woofs. Yeah, he is a little Cooper. He's a little pupper. He has little sleepy borks. It's true. It's true. He goes whoop 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 whoop. That's the Chester Bork noise. All right, Abby's is gonna go get some twice cooked dough and some cheese creams. Excellent. Sounds delicious. Enjoy it. I have acquired sweet potatoes. I think one of these is probably a pound. I think we could probably just stick with one of them. So we're just gonna have 2 extra ones for something later on in the day. There is also, in fact, a poll in the chat. You're gonna make me read this, aren't you? Automod's favorite food is, and I would say I know who put this in the chat, except I also know that Dr. Andy spells favorite that way too. Automod's favorite food is pound cake, duck breast, pork butt, firm peaches, or lobster drofmador. I need a vegetable peeler so I can peel this thing. Mods are all absolutely wired for this kind of chaos. They really are. It is actually pretty funny because I know that when it comes to the polls that we use for Two Truths and a Lie, that Des has done a fair number of those. If Grog makes a poll, it's literally what I asked for and nothing else. But there may have been, and Des may have slipped an occasional one in there past my knowledge, but generally speaking, the chaos polls are usually either Brigitte or Dr. Andy. The complete chaos polls. This one is a complete chaos poll, but I couldn't tell you whose. I have my suspicions. All right. Cutting up a sweet potato. How big pieces? 1 pound sweet potatoes. Peel and dice the sweet potato. 3/4 inch pieces. Okay. We can do that. It is kind of wild to me that other people have mods who maybe aren't wired for chaos. I was like, I'm always kind of like, oh my gosh, why? You just picked the most responsible adult in your chat and gave them mod powers? What fun is that? Although, no, I'm kidding though. I really do have the best mods. I mean, I know everyone says that, but like, I am whatever, supremely indulged by all of my mods. And I absolutely would have absolutely no business near a camera without them, so. I missed part of the peel. Gordon Ramsay would take issue with the size of my dices, but this is fine. Santa feels called out. Hey, Santa, I know for a fact that you were modded on the spot one day when a certain friend of ours was like, "Uh-oh, I need another mod, and I need another mod right now. Who's the most responsible adult in the room?" Oh, it's Santa. Santa, will you be my mod? That definitely happened. Santa's choice of mods is a tragedy. Alpine says, "I feel like I cause too much chaos as a mod, so I'm very restrained when modding." Are you? Omega's Prime, hi. How are you? It's good to see you. Welcome in. Jane says, "That's how I got modded in one of my channels. I was the responsible one in chat that day when Ish hit the fan." There have been occasional times when I have said, "Look, I'm always here anyway. Do you want me to step in here?" Omega's lot of emotes. Accurate description of Omega's Prime. Also, Automod's favorite food is apparently firm peaches. All right, so there is our whatchamajiggy, our garlic and onion. Okay, add the sweet potato. We're gonna add the sweet potato. I should probably just bring this cutting board over here, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this the hard way because I'm me. And I also have huge hands, so, you know. Firm peaches sounds like a great topping for pound cake. Jane, you are not wrong. Peach pound cake. Yum. Although I did actually, so I had a recipe for bourbon peach pie that I didn't actually get to make this year. It just didn't actually end up working out. I had to cancel some streams over the summer just because of work stuff. And so yeah, so I didn't get to make that, which was disappointing. Also, hi Peaches. we summoned a peach. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut from here on out. And look, all the emotes are back. Your command is fixed by virtue of my fixing the emotes. Peach was maybe lurking. I don't call out lurkers. That's not a thing I do. I'm not a lurker. I'm not a lurker caller outer. I had no idea you were here. It's just you come up in conversation because we love you. All right. Right. So the sweet potatoes are in here. Chipotle pepper, which we've got here. So there's that. This is okay. Just gonna get stuff everywhere. The tablespoon of dark brown sugar. So we're just going to use 3 teaspoons because that's what I happen to have out. 2. 3. Peach, how are you doing today since you have emerged from lurkerdom? How goes the unpacking and all of that? You don't have to say, of course, if you'd rather not. You look so much shorter on stream without the platforms. I do, and also I took the banner down, the thing that was making the ceiling look lower, it's making me look really tall. But yes, I had to adjust the camera when I put on the platforms, and then I had to adjust them today because I am, in fact, a lot shorter. So I'm technically 5'5.5", but like I usually just say 5'6" because, you know, whatever. Grog is 6 foot, exactly 6 foot. So we're 6 inches apart. When I had those shoes on the other day, he came into the kitchen and I was like completely eye level with him. They are the chunkiest shoes. And I'm really surprised they're as comfortable as they are. Like, honestly, like, I was ready to take them off at the end of stream on Tuesday, but my feet didn't hurt the next day, which is very interesting to me. because a lot of the time my feet will hurt the next day after wearing really uncomfortable shoes. So I'm a fan. I'd like to find more things I can wear with white patent leather Mary Jane platforms. Peaches is doing okay, still fighting a bug. Oh no! Unpacking has hit a bit of a wall. Let's see if I can motivate myself to throw out some boxes. Peaches, if you're sick, just take it easy. The unpacking can wait. Play unpacking instead. Play the video game instead. Then you can feel productive and like you're doing a thing, and that way but getting the rest you need to. Brigitte says Leah is one of the tiny people. Brigitte, I am not that short. I'm really not, I promise. Yeah, you were taller than your fridge yesterday. Yeah, oh, that's probably true, huh? There is some height reference. That's true. Peaches says chonky shoes tend to be more comfy than stilettos. Oh, that's true. Oh, Peaches says I've beat it twice already. I love that. That's really good. Okay, so hold on a second while I pull all of this together. Okay. God, that smells amazing. The chipotle peppers just smell so good. Okay, so then all of the spices that we previously measured out. Handy dandy. Stir well to coat the potato in the spices. Fair. And toast up the spices. You guys know why you do this, right? You cook the spices in the oil before you add any like liquids to it. It's because different flavors are pulled out by oil than by water, just because of how the different like flavors are dissolved. That's the whole premise.
Am I interested in you in fruit or dessert?
Rhubarb! Hi! I missed a thing that Alpine said, but I'm sure it was delightful because Alpine is just a delightful person. Cozy Chili. Is it any bub? Toad, hello. Exo, hi. Rhubarb, hi. Rhubarb, I shouted you out earlier. I sent people over to get a look at your burbs. Did anyone come to say hi? Mercedes' unpacking is the Dark Souls of moving-based indie games. What? Are there many moving-based indie games? Oh, a cooking stream. Yes, a cooking stream. We are currently making sweet potato chipotle chili. And there's some cornmeal scones over there cooling. Welcome to here. Hello. Des, thank you for giving that shout out to Rhubarb. In addition to having burbs chirping in the background of her stream, Rhubarb was they were doing art today. Oh, fantastic. But Rhubarb has been playing a lot of Animal Crossing lately. A lot of Animal Crossing New Horizons. There has been a lot of in the past Stardew and other things. Sometimes it's crochet. Just a tremendously lovely, calming, relaxed place. With mostly cozy games, cozy atmosphere, and just absolutely delightful chat. Just really lovely people. Thank you for the follow. So yes, if you are not following Rhubarb, you ought to be. So please do drop her a follow. Omega's Prime says I'm 6'2". When I wear any boots, I feel like Herman Munster. He'll be sure. Yeah, thank you. It's Old Navy. I've had it for years, but when fall rolls around, it starts to feel very appropriate. Foxy. Jesus, now I'm in here twice. That happens to me a lot. You for the shout out. Birds were a bit chatty today. That's really good. Oh, it does. Oh, it smells so good. In fact, you know what? Hang on just a second. Let me push this off the heat for just a second while I do things. I just don't want I just added spices. I don't want the spices to burn. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Military and boots in particular give me the super high feels. Oh my gosh. Brigitte does love a good boot. I have a pair of Doc Martens I've been carting around for a year that my shin will be skinny enough for soon. Amazing. Okay, so Pear Can Quest says viewers got to choose a side, like a side dish. Yes. So well, I mean, you can feel free to choose another one if you'd like. We did vote earlier in the stream as to whether I would make wheat bread, just like a regular yeast bread, or whether I would make these cornmeal scones. So the cornmeal scones won out, and so that's what we have here. I'm just gonna, I have to just kind of like apparently break them apart is what it says. I feel like I did this wrong, but anyway, this is what it wanted me to do when they were cool enough to handle, which they are now. Oh my gosh, these look amazing. I'm probably gonna not be able to resist eating one of these. There's probably, one of these is probably going to end up in my mouth before the end of stream. But that's what we ended up with. We ended up with cornmeal scones. But if you'd love to dip it in soup, well, that's exactly what we're making. Well, sort of. We're making sweet potato beef chili. Yes. I'm getting to that, Brigitte. I'm getting to that. Basil is my Doc's twos. I've got 2 pairs, one black, one brown, and the brown pair are so soft after 6 years of heavy use. I only have yellow patent leather Doc Martens. Dr. Andy calls them my Wonder Woman boots? My Batgirl boots. Batgirl. It's the Batgirl boots. That's what they are. Rhubarb has never made scones that way before. They look good. Yeah, I was just following a recipe. I would usually just cut them all the way through and bake them separately, but they wanted me to do them like together. So I thought, well, why not? We'll try it. But they smell really good. Okay. So if y'all don't know me, I'm Leah Firehurt. I do mostly cooking here on this channel on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Tuesdays 4 to 7 Eastern time, on Thursdays from 10:30 to 2:30 Eastern. And then on Fridays from 4 to 7, I do some gaming. Right now we are playing Hades, although I make no promises about tomorrow because there's a new season of Fortnite coming out and I might not be able to resist depending on how much Fortnite I get in earlier in the day. So we will see. But yes, thank you for the schedule. Yeah, Batgirl boots, exactly. So that is me. Today, as I said, we are making a sweet potato beef chili and cornmeal scones. And I do have a raid video. Rhubarb, I know often when you raid out, it is because you are starving and need to go eat dinner. If you have to skedaddle, please go take care of yourself. I know what it's like after stream. So if you cannot hang out, stay and stick around, then yes, lurk time. You gotta go grab some food. That's what I was expecting. I was expecting to see that pop up any second. Yeah, go take care of yourself. Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for bringing your people over here. I really appreciate it. It's really nice to meet all you new folks. And thank you for trusting me with your community. Okay, so I'm going to run a quick raid video for you new folks. It's 1 minute and 6 seconds long. I promise you it's entertaining. And as soon as we get done with that, I'll be right back to finish up this chili.
My time, talking about my time.
Not only sticky, I'm covered in whiskey. I smell delicious. I know, right? Behave. It was a little dangerous. Stab. Behave harder. I have a moment alone with my burger. So that is us here. Hopefully, if you have not yet followed yet, that would looks like it might be fun enough to drop me a follow. Come back another time if you have to skedaddle. Again, thank you to Rhubarb Fruit Jam for the raid. It's delightful to have you here. Okay. Vix, hi. Way late, but I made it. Hi, it's so good to see you. It was Taka Fork Knife that summoned you. I'm sure of it. Are you excited for tomorrow? Vix is a Fortnite friend of mine. Are you excited for? Are you new enough to Fortnite that you never played the OG seasons? You never played season 1? Obviously, I didn't. I didn't start until chapter 4. So, I mean, I didn't start until like May of this year. Um, so I'm brand new to all of this boogie bomb nonsense and whatever. Um, yeah, so I'm very excited to see what tomorrow brings. Great video. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. My mod Byron Mask made that video for me. If it were up to me to make a raid video, it never would have happened. Basil says a burger one needs a moment alone with what goals. Yeah, that was the In-N-Out animal style burger. I've made that now twice on the channel, and both times it was terrific. It was really good. It's like caramelized onions and stuff on it. It's delicious. Paracan Quest says, do you take recipe suggestions for future streams? I do. I have a rather pricey channel point redemption for insisting that I make a specific thing. However, I also have a Discord, and if I find your idea spectacularly irresistible, which happens from time to time, you can put that in stream suggestions, and I might do it just because. But otherwise, you can, as long as it's something that we can eat. Grog doesn't like shrimp and can't eat milk. But as long as it's something we can eat, I will make anything that anyone submits as a channel point redemption. Kaylee says, my first season was the one with the reality tree and stuff, so not much before. I don't know what a reality tree is. Oh my gosh. Fortnite's lore is just absolutely bizarre. I tried to read a synopsis of the Fortnite plot, and it was like so bonkers. Like it reads like some 6-year-old's fever dream. Bougainvillea, hello, welcome to here. What type of food do I like normally? Gingerbread ham. Dr. Andy, you still have one outstanding. You're supposed to come play Batman with me. Sure. Gingerbread ham. Here we go. Thank you for demonstrating how to redeem a set the menu stream. You know, I have to say, I am a pretty equal opportunity food appreciator. Dorito chicken casserole sounds amazing. That actually sounds amazing. That sounds really, really good. I think probably what I would say is I tend more toward like scratch, like from like food from scratch, right? So I'm like baking from like flour and sugar and not so much from mixes. But that said, I made refrigerator dough chocolate chip cookies on Tuesday. So I'm a pretty equal opportunity food appreciator. Dr. Andy says, listen, it came up in the Liz show, and I need to know what a gingerbread ham is. You know what? I don't know either, but we'll figure something out. It strikes me that actually a lot of the flavors that gingerbread is referencing and ham would go pretty well together, so I'm not as distressed by this suggestion as maybe I ought to be. Randy says, if you make one, then I will know. Yeah, that's the feeling you got. Yeah. So for the most part, I'm mostly a cooking from scratch person, but I do not discriminate against easy cooking hacks. Okay, so I pulled that off the heat so that it wouldn't get too hot. I am going to pour this can of crushed tomatoes in here just to get some liquid in here to make sure that these spices don't burn. So there's that. The other thing that this recipe calls for is a light lager beer. We don't have light lager beer in this house. It's just not something we drink. I'm going to be using a Sam Adams Oktoberfest, which is hearty and smooth. So this is probably the wrong beer for this, but it's got so many spices in it that I bet it can probably stand up to it. This is a maltier beer, though. It's not like a hoppy beer, which I think would probably not be as good. Hops do weird things to food. So this bottle of beer is going in the chili as our liquid, which honestly sounds terrific to me. Let's see. Brigitte says it's a gingerbread man shaped like William Shatner. What does William Shatner have to do with ham, Brigitte? I'm so confused. Toad says, but I did make my own condensed soup to go in it. So it's kind of from scratch, except the Doritos and the noodles were not. That actually sounds really good because here's the thing. With if you were to make your own condensed soup, because we can't do the condensed soup part of it, right? Because it's got dairy in it. But I can do it with almond milk. And that way I could do it. It seems like a plausible thing if you've got a recipe for doing that from scratch. Is it only shrimp or all types of shellfish that he can't eat? No, it's only shrimp. He just doesn't like it. Yeah, I mean, other than that, like, it's just that he just doesn't like it. The lactose thing. So no milk, no cheese, no butter is fine. No milk, no cheese, no butter, milk, sour cream, that kind of thing. But he can eat shrimp. He just doesn't like it. That would suck. Shrimp is my favorite seafood. Yeah, but he just doesn't like it. So it's nice. So I have shrimp when I go out instead of having, a minor sacrifice for, somebody that I like a lot. Brigitte says, Leah, have you ever seen William Shatner's acting? You're saying... Oh no, my mom just said, hi, Brigitte. I just typed, have you seen William Shatner act? So he's a ham. I get it. A gingerbread William Shatner. So that's very good. Can I give him tentacles? Because I have a recipe for tentacle gingerbread man. Great minds think alike, I guess. All right, so I poured the tomatoes in the beer, scrape of any brown bits, bring it to a boil, add the beans and ground beef. Okay. All right, so we're just going to stir this up. I think we did a pretty good job of getting brown bits off the bottom with the onions, but we will just stir this up. And bring it to a boil. And then we're going to add back our beef and our beans. I've made quite a mess, actually. Luckily, on Thursdays, I have time to clean before Grog gets home. Am I adding any more salt to this? Just yet? Yes, a teaspoon of kosher salt. So I should probably do that now. We'll taste it again, of course, before we eat it, but... Kaylee says, I love everything about chili except beans. I mean, I think you could probably get away with, especially in this chili, either just leaving them out, which I think you could get away with, or increasing the beef, or increasing the sweet potatoes, for that matter. If depending on which thing you find most appealing. Apparently OG chili is made without beans. Yes. Toad says, to be honest, I should also not have any type of dairy. I have Crohn's, but I don't follow my diet. I wouldn't be able to eat anything good, but I pay for it, surely. Yeah, Grug has decided, my husband, who's at work at the moment, has decided that it is not worth it to him to pay the price for the consumption of dairy. Unfortunately, the stuff you can take, the like pills you can take and stuff, that don't work on him. And so yeah, it's just, he just avoids it. We found good substitutes. There's a lot better vegan cheese on the market now than there used to be. I have made things with vegan cheese for both of us, and I don't want to say I can't tell the difference. I can, but it's definitely not the vegan cheese of the past. And so that has been good. I've discovered things like baking. So this recipe for scones called for buttermilk. I just used oat milk with some vinegar in it. They rose just fine. Presumably they're going to taste just fine. I don't know. Which one should I eat? Should I eat one? Let's try these. Delicious. Perfectly fluffy. Amazing texture from the cornmeal. These are great. Would definitely make these again. Might make a double batch. Because I don't see why you couldn't just put them two on a sheet. Great. Kaylee says not the vegan cheese of like 10 years ago when it didn't even melt. Yes, it does melt now. The only thing is you have to be a little bit careful not to put too much of it on because sometimes it'll melt into like a puddle of grease. Mm-hmm. Toad says getting my whole family to switch is the hard part for diet. Plus it can be more expensive if not all sticking to the same diet. Yep, that is real. For sure. The vegan cheese of 10 years ago that was easily confused with chalk. My hubby is big on cheeses and proteins. Yes, yes. Vic says, as soon as I got in here, I got 2 phone calls. Well, glad you're here now. It's good to see you. You didn't answer my question, though. Are you excited for Friday? This is really good. It's going to be really hard not to eat all of them. Brigitte says work's over. She's got a piping hot mug of Yorkshire tea. Yes. Vix is not going to be happy with all the bloom weapons, but I guess that means I'll be sniping a lot. Oh, that's fair. I'm a little worried about the potential lack of a first-person AR. Alright, this is boiling. Let's put our beef in here. And our beans. I'm just going to stir that up. This is really different than the chili that I usually make, so this is kind of exciting. Okay. Brigitte asks what a bloom weapon is. So, I don't know how to explain it. I know what he means, but I don't know how to explain it. A weapon without a scope. In Fortnite, that's a reticle that gets bigger as you shoot. There we go. Like the shotguns. Most of the shotguns are like that. Not the wood stake shotgun, but the rest of them. Is Yorkshire tea just a brand of black tea? Taylor's of Harrogate, so the real thing. There's fake Yorkshire tea. Is that just like a really bad accent? And I'm supposed to add possibly more adobo sauce. I don't think that was in the instructions, but as we have noted, the instructions on this one are a little worrisome. They made some boo-boos. So when I go to put this on the site, I will edit it and make sure that it's not like it doesn't say anything about putting remaining onion when we weren't supposed to put the onion in the first place. There. A little bit more chipotle with adobo sauce in here. And I'm going to stir that up. And then are we turning this down? Are we putting a lid on it? What are we doing here? Okay. Cover and simmer, reducing the heat as needed until the sweet potatoes are tender, about 30 minutes. Cool. It doesn't seem to be an overly large amount of liquid, but I'm just gonna set that a little bit off. Oh, I don't need the heat anymore, obviously, in the oven. 30 minutes. All right, cool. So plume weapons are SMGs, pistols, and shotguns. Basically anything that gets less accurate as you shoot. Yes. So not a twin mag AR. I'm gonna miss that twin mag. Holy heck. I love that gun. Okay. So prepare any toppings as needed. We're not going to be preparing toppings as needed at the moment. Cornmeal scones, sweet potato chili, all of those things are in. Let me just double check the ingredients one more time because we did this a little bit out of order. Sweet potatoes, white onion, garlic, chipotle pepper and adobo sauce, kidney beans, olive oil, ground beef, kosher salt, dark brown sugar, chili powder, 2 teaspoons of sauce, cumin, paprika, oregano, crushed tomatoes, bottle of light beer. We are in good shape. Amazing. RIP Foundations MK. That MK is also very broken. Brigitte got to use that for the first time in a game the other day, and she was like, oh, now I see what the fuss is. Wait, but the hit reg still stuck no matter what you do. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Oh, I didn't finish my hot chocolate, but that's not going to be hot anymore. Can I throw this in the microwave for a second? I probably can. Also, I ordered donuts. You guys, I had a moment of weakness and ordered donuts. They advertised when I put the I think when I put the sugar in, they were like, did you know that we have pumpkin donuts? And I was like, no, I didn't. But so there's like 2 glazed ones and 2 cinnamon sugar ones. And these came from the bakery, and I'm like, yes, please. So I'm not gonna have donuts for lunch though, I promise. I also got a salad. And I'm gonna finish my hot chocolate. It's cool that this mug can be microwaved. It's handmade.
Can I interest any of you in fruit or dessert?
Sunberry! Hi! Alpine says pumpkin donuts are too good. You're objectively correct in your decision. Sunberry, hello. The berries are here to spread some sunshine. Ray, Nether, hi. Gothic Pluto, hello. Welcome. Good to see you guys. How are you? Thank you for the follow. Zeldykins! Adorable! What a cute name. What a cute handle. I love it. Presumably that's a Zelda reference, I assume. Welcome in. Sunberry, hi, thank you. There is a shout out there for Sunberry in the chat who's playing Ooblettes. What is Ooblettes? What is that? Tell me about what that is and how that went. Okay, Sunberry says it was my first stream in nearly 20 days, so it was a mess, but also super cute. It was also my first time playing Ooblettes, and I'm already obsessed. Amazing. Mom says I went to treat Leah so you could have a donut, and then remembered you'd already been treated, but the thought was there. I think there's a cooldown on it. I think you can treat me more than once, but I also just ate a scone, so please don't. It is Zelda related. Okay, that's what I thought. Well, congratulations and welcome back, Sunberry. Thank you for choosing me to raid and thinking of me in your first stream back. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Welcome back. I'm sure you did great. I'm sure it wasn't as much of a mess as you think it is. Sunny, hi. You got left behind. Oh no, sorry. Okay, so you collect Ooblettes, which are cute little creatures that earn respect via dance battles. Thank you for the follow. And build up your farm and repair the town, and it's so neurodivergent energy. I love that. Well, I'm really glad you're enjoying it, especially for your first stream back. I did actually see you mention something about that on Threads that you were coming back. So we're excited to see you back. Welcome, Raiders. Right. Oh, Speaking of which, oh my gosh. Okay, yes, there's a shout out for Sunbury there. If you are not yet following Sunbury, absolutely glorious, welcoming, safe community to hang out in. Um, Sun plays a variety of different games. There's quite a bit of Stardew Valley and other cozy types of games. Also some productivity days. We have done that on occasion here on this channel. If you want more regular productivity stuff, Sun is a great person to follow. Just very chill and very nice and good vibes over there. So follow Sunbury if you are not already. Cozy dance battling Pokemon. Yeah, right, exactly. Since I have much work to do, so I'll be lurking. Hope the chili is coming out tasty. Yes. Yeah, lurk away. If you have to de-stream and all of that. Thank you so much again for the raid. And I'm glad to hear that you are back and that it went well and that you enjoyed your game. For those of you who are new here, I am Leah Fireheart. I do a lot of cooking here on this channel. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, Tuesdays 4 to 7 Eastern time, Thursdays 10:30 to 2:30 Eastern time. I do gaming on Fridays from 4 to 7. Right now we are playing Hades. But I was, as we were just discussing, tomorrow is the new season of Fortnite. And depending on how much Fortnite I get in during the mornings, there's going to be some downtime. I may push Hades a little bit. We may do Fortnite. I'm not entirely sure yet, but
Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Apparently the only prescription is more Fortnite. Ooh, and Vix is gonna play with me. Amazing. I love that. Yeah, no, I will drop you a line. That would be fun. I do enjoy playing with you quite a bit. Right. So that's us here, cooking in Hades at the moment. So if you're into, to buy panic and tasty food, then you can follow me, 'cause that's what you're going to get for the next, who knows how long. Right, Des votes Fortnite. The only prescription is more Fortnite. Brigitte says, why not both? That is true. We could do a little bit of Hades and then do Fortnite. I don't know. Whatever. We will discuss amongst ourselves probably in Discord. Right. Okay. I did put a timer on because I'm a genius. Look, so today what we're doing is we're making cornmeal scones, which are there, back there. You can see it on the camera there. But they're also back there. And making sweet potato chipotle chili. So that's what's simmering on the stove in the Dutch oven back there. We also made hot chocolate from scratch today. Somebody treated Leah, and Leah decided to treat herself to an enormous marshmallow and homemade hot cocoa. I just microwaved it because it got a little cold, given that I made it like an hour ago. Yes, it is delicious. It involved cocoa powder, sugar, vanilla bean paste, melted chocolate, and cow's milk. So I need to get some whipped cream for it. That's why I use marshmallows, because it's easier to store marshmallows than it is to store cream. Yes, that's right. Brigitte is not allowed to put whipped cream on anything of mine, as has been long established. How do I even eat this marshmallow? It's like stuck in the bottom of the cup. Oh, now it's properly melted. As usual, I'm sticky. There. Treat consumed. Okay. So, very elegant. Yeah, right. Thank you. Okay. So, right. So usually I say that I stream until 2:30, but we're done. um I wanted to make sure to build in enough time that we would have time to let the bread rise if you guys chose the bread option. But you did not. So I think what's going to happen at this point is we are going to find someone to ourselves raid. Give me a second here. And yeah, so I think we're gonna go ahead and raid out. So as I mentioned, if you are in the Discord or if you are not, here you go. There's the link. I will probably post pictures. The chili wasn't for now anyway. The chili was for dinner tonight. So I will post pictures in the Discord of the chili later. And I'll see if I can get Grog to share his thoughts when he actually eats it. I think I am going to probably clean the kitchen because now I've had nothing but snacks, right? I've had all these snacks. So I'm not terribly hungry for lunch yet, so I might wait on that just a little bit. But yeah, I think we're good. So right. So thank you very much to all of you. Oh wait, you know what? You know what we could do? No, let's not. I was like, I didn't actually clean out my baking cabinet last week. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to do that right now. I just want to go sit down and rest. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think right now what we're going to do is we're going to go sit down and rest. And I think we are going to, in fact, find somebody to raid. So give me just a second here. Open the things. Where are things? There are probably things here somewhere. Right. But first of all, so as I said, tomorrow I will be live from 4 to 7. We are, like I said, playing Hades or Fortnite. I'm not really sure which. But gaming tomorrow, gaming on Friday starting at 4 p.m. Eastern. Thank you so much to all of my mods who are amazing. To Grognard Gourmand, who is probably going to have to deal with some portion of this mess, but hopefully not too terribly much, because typically on Thursdays I actually do the dishes. Go me. To Des Dabbles, who is currently playing both Dark Souls Remastered, so Dark Souls 1, and God of War Ragnarok. If either one of those things sounds fun to you, you should definitely follow Des, who is absolutely killing it at Dark Souls. Don't let her tell you that she's not. But yeah, so Des is currently engaged in battling demons of various stripes in 2 different games and doing a heckin' amazing job of it. To Byron Mask, who is in fact back to streaming sporadically. So if you want, she does not have a schedule currently. If you want to see get information about when she goes live, you can follow her and you'll get a notification, which I highly recommend because she's very sweet and very funny. And I enjoy hanging out in her streams when she doesn't go live while I'm at work. Thanks, Brigitte. And then Dr. Andy 23, provider of gingerbread ham and OBS plugins, who is going to be playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition later today, hosting community mealtime and tasting tea, as they do every Thursday on Reapers and Steepers, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern time. You can hang out with them and watch Reggiano Shepherd take on whatever he's taking on this week, which I'm never really quite certain because generally speaking they end after I've gone to bed and I don't know where they finished. So but there's still at the very least a bit more of Reggiano Shepherd to go in Mass Effect 3. Also, some random geek. Hi, are you so excited for the new Fortnite season? I'm so excited. Another Fortnite friend. All right, let's see. Who do we have live here? Aha! Okay, so I have a great person in mind to raid. Let me just quickly take a look here and make sure that they're not planning on going offline anytime soon. What have we got here? Oh no, I didn't fix the freaking raid messages. Wait, should we do that now? We should probably just go ahead and do that now. Give me just a second here. Let's just go ahead and fix the raid messages real quick. Because that's, you know, a whole thing. Given that we have time, we might as well fix it. It's this one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are so good. See, I told you, I have the best mods. And I'm just going to fix this live. This is one of those things that we're just going to do live because it's only going to take a second and it's no big deal. Assuming that I can find it in the list. Here it is. Nope, not that one. There we go. There we go. So this should now bring up the correct situation. What is going on here? I'm trying to figure out what's going on in this stream without unmuting it. Okay. All right. No, I think we're good. I think I'm just going to go ahead and set up our raid here. So we're going to read My Friend Turney Adventures. They're doing something called Dungeon Alchemist. I know Turney is doing NaNoWriMo. But isn't actually writing a novel. Is writing a campaign setting for Dungeons and Dragons. I know that there are quite a number of the reason I chose Turney is that I believe that anyone who came along on Sunbury's raid, given the community over there, y'all will probably very much enjoy Turney Adventures. They are non-binary and highly into Dungeons and Dragons. Just a really lovely, friendly and welcoming and safe community over there too, which since you guys haven't been here for very long, I feel like sending you over there is the right thing to do. So we're going to go ahead and set up that raid. You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for putting up with the fact that I had neither some of the main ingredients for my meal, nor the presence of mind to actually talk while I filled out a grocery list and had somebody bring me groceries. Yeah, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for all of the raids from Sunberry, from Rhubarb Fruit Jam, from Vintage RPG. You guys are absolutely amazing. Oh, Des also reminds us that we have socials. You can follow me on Instagram and Threads or Discord. If you get left behind on the raid, you can click that link and that will also take you over to Turney. You guys, thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If I don't see you tomorrow, have a great weekend. And then I will see you back here on Thursday. All right. Thanks, you guys. Have a great day. Bye.